Hello everyone. Well, I bet you didn't expect to see me here at this time, did you? You all thought that I would be in Northampton General Hospital. It's like 2:45 on the afternoon of Monday, the 28th of March 2022, and I bet you all thought that I would right now be having my neck cut open or my tongue cut open, didn't you? And that's exactly what I thought would be happening as well. But operation has been cancelled, everyone. So I'll talk you through what's happened in a moment, but I am quite upset about it. And, you know, this is by far the worst day of the whole cancer experience. I'm trying to put on a brave face and a smile about it, but I am now, I just don't know how much more I can take, to be honest, of this year. I really don't know how much more I can take of it. It's just been one thing after another, and now to have the operation cancelled, in the way that it's been cancelled, I just don't know. I just don't know what I have done, who I have upset, to be having all of this constantly coming at me all of the time. I just cannot take anymore. But I'm going to tell you what's happening in a moment. I just got to calm myself down. So, obviously, the operation was booked for today to have the cancer removed from the side of my tongue and also a neck dissection. You know that. So, I would have to be at the admissions unit at Northampton General Hospital at 12:30. And I was there, on time, and I got to the doors. I rang the doorbell, and somebody came, and answered the door. And I said, "It's Gavin, Partridge. I'm here to have an operation, and be admitted." And he was very, actually, quite strangely, this chap. He said, "Well, hold on a moment, I'm going to go." He looked at the list, the theatre list, and he said, "Hold on a moment, I'm going to go on." And he said, "Wait outside." So I was sort of waiting outside on the door, but not being allowed into the building for about 5 minutes or so, 10 minutes. And then he came back and he said, "Somebody's going to come and speak to you. Stay there." And I said, "Well, can I?" Because it's quite, where it is under shade, quite chilly. I said, "Well, can I come in? Can I come in and stand in the foyer area?" He said, "No, stay there." So at this point, I knew something was amiss. I was not being allowed into the building. I thought, have I upset somebody? Have I upset somebody in the hospital and they don't want me? I was racking my brains to see if I'd said something out of place to somebody. I did wonder whether it's like because I'm vlogging, whether they found out that I'm vlogging about it and whether that breaks their codes of ethics or something. I don't know. But I should have stood there for another 10 minutes. So by now we're like 15 to 20 minutes and I've been waiting outside the hospital, to get in. And eventually this lady came. And she said, "I'm so sorry, but the operation is being cancelled. Hasn't anybody called?" Just said, "No, not had any calls. Only contact I've had has been like messages to do surveys, from previous from the previous experiences of appointments and so on." I said, "No, I haven't heard from anybody from the hospital." She said, "Well, unfortunately, the PCR test, I'm sure you guessed this, PCR test that you did on Friday came back positive. It came back positive, and we've had to cancel your operation. We can't allow you into the hospital, and I wasn't even supposed to be on hospital grounds, really." And she said, "So can you please sort of go away," kind of thing. Not go away, but you're not allowed into the building. You're going to have to go home. Make sure that until you get out of hospital grounds, you keep your mask on. And I was sort of left dumbfounded that this had happened, because I feel absolutely fine. And I did do a lateral flow this morning. I don't know if you can see that, but the lateral flow that I did at home this morning came back with one. It wasn't ready to. Came back with one line on the lateral flow that I did this morning. So I don't know what's going on. I know the PCR is more sensitive, but I think the PCR can get false positives because, as we know, and this delayed it, with the biopsy, I have I had COVID, as the Mrs. P and the whole of my family had COVID back in February, and I tested positive on the 12th of February. So I'm just wondering, because I feel absolutely fine. I don't feel any COVID symptoms whatsoever, and I would have thought I'm at a very high level of antibodies, after having it in February and also having vaccines and so on. So I would have thought I'm, at my peak antibody for COVID. So I'd be surprised if I picked it up again. Certainly haven't got any symptoms. And I just wonder whether it could be a false positive from the the PCR test, whether it is the PCR test is picking up a false positive from the previous COVID infection. But the upshot is I'm now back here at Gasworthy's Towers after psyching myself up this morning, preparing for this very, very significant, really quite significant operation. Not so much a ton, but the cut to the neck is really quite invasive. It's a biggish operation. And I was psyched up for it. I was mentally prepared for it. And then now I'm just back here and I'm just feeling so incredibly down, so incredibly deflated. And I just don't know what's going to happen next. I don't know what's going to happen next. I'm kind of at my wit's end about everything, to be honest. It's just been one thing after another right away since Christmas and, January. And I just do not know what is going to happen next. But it kind of feels like, the National Health Service has become the National COVID Service, in a way. And like, if you got anything else, you're just thrown under the bus. Just thrown under the bus, really. But I know that's not the case. I'm just speaking, at a point where I am emotionally and physically and mentally exhausted, I think, with everything that has gone on over the past 3 months. This is like the culmination. This really is the culmination. And I am just so completely and utterly deflated and upset and just generally, generally at my wit's end with it all. There we go. I didn't think I'd ever be here on YouTube pouring my heart out like this, but I just feel so incredibly upset about it all and deflated and demotivated and all of those things, but I'll get over it. I'll bounce back from it. Obviously, because Gav always bounces back, Gav always comes back stronger. But at the moment, it's a real sort of bitter blow, it's a bitter blow. And I don't know what's going to happen next. So I've spoken to my doctor, Mr. Amorali's secretary. It's not his fault, he wants to do the surgery, but hands are tied by the guidelines. You test positive on a PCR test or a lateral flow test, then you're just not allowed admittance, and that's it. I'm waiting to hear back from his secretary to see what, if anything, can be done. I don't know how long it's going to take to reschedule the operation, and then I have to go through the process of another PCR test. But if I'm still testing positive on that one, if it is a false positive, and that one is still testing positive, I have to have PCR test again, then we will go through this all over again. And potentially, as I say, I heard that you get false positive for 19 weeks after a COVID infection. So potentially I'm 7 weeks in, potentially this could go on, for another 3 months. So I just don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know when the operation is going to be. And I don't know why I've tested positive on a PCR test, but not on a lateral flow test. I just don't know. It's bewildering. And I just can't explain what's going on at the moment. It's a crazy time, absolutely crazy time, and it has been here right the way since Christmas, and I just don't know what's going to happen next. So there we go, everybody. The operation has been cancelled, and as soon as I have news, about what's going to happen, where we're going to go next, I will let everybody know. But that's the latest. Anyway, no operation. I'm back home. I don't know whether to start the videos on the weather channel or not. you know, I don't know what to do with that, because yesterday I sort of did my last video. It's my, like Gav had his sort of goodbye, didn't he? I say goodbye for now, you know, thinking that that's going to be it for at least a few weeks. And here I am, I'm home. And you know, I'm going to be trying to think what I'm going to do. You know, I don't know. But I'll worry about that tomorrow, probably. What to do about that? I've got more important things to worry about. Namely, sort of getting some rest. And, you know, trying to get myself... I don't know, but, you know, I've tried to get myself into a state of calmness, I think, is what I've got to do. And of course, have something to eat. I've got a cup of tea, you know, so I'm having a cup of tea because I haven't drank anything. There's my Star Wars mug. I haven't drank anything, you know, since last night, other than I had a glass of water early on this morning, but I haven't drank anything since last night. I haven't eaten anything since last night. So, I've been ill by mouth, thinking that I'm going to have a general anaesthetic. And it's all come to naught. So, what more can happen? What more can happen? But I wanted to let everybody know, because I know so many people have sent so many lovely messages. That's the other thing. I've had so many lovely messages, been inundated with messages on social media, on YouTube, on people emailing me. You know, absolutely inundated. And it's all been, you know, it's all for nothing, because the operation hasn't happened. So many people have been saying good luck, you know, you're going to be fine, reassuring. And, you know, thank you so much to all of you for that. And I feel bad on your behalf, you know, in a way, because I thought it was happening, and you thought it was happening. We all thought it was happening. I mean, I got to hospital, and it didn't happen. So I'll let you know, I'll let you know when I have news, but that's the latest anyway, and I'm going to spend the rest of the afternoon, you know, just trying to work out who have I upset. I'm having one thing after another, you know, why is this happening? I don't know, but anyway, that's it. So I'll bounce back. I'll be all right. So I suppose this video might raise a little bit of alarm how down I am, but I'll be fine. Gav always bounces back, so don't worry. And as soon as I have news with a new date for the operation and what's going to happen, then I'll let you know. Right, okay, so that's the latest. Operation cancelled, and yeah, there'll be another vlog coming when I have some news, but for this one, that's all for now, and thanks for watching.